Hello, good afternoon. This is Alexandra Ahmed speaking from Baden-Württemberg, and I'm happy to have the opportunity today to give you some brief information on our area, but also on the academic landscape in the state of Baden-Württemberg, southwest Germany. Well, I attended IEFT roadshows for many years, and it's a real pity that we can't come to Turkey these days. But so webinars are a great tool for communication, but I prefer face-to-face communication, and I hope situation in which we all suffer, that it's over soon and we will go back to normal. Well, let's get started with some general information about our area and then jump right into the presentation on how to find the right institution, the entry requirements and the administrative requirements. So where we are located, this is Germany, and Baden-Württemberg, as you can see, it's this area in the southwest of Germany, bordering France and Switzerland. On the right-hand side here would be Bavaria and North Rhine-Westphalia. Berlin would be over here. So we are centered quite in the heart of Europe, 3.5 hours distance to Paris, 2 hours by flight to London, and beautiful landscapes, and let's say the Black Forest, for example, would be along the river, the Rhine, and the Swabian Alps. So these are really, apart from working and studying, there is also a lot for leisure activities. So Baden-Württemberg is home to people from all over the world. This dates back to the 1960s already, when people from all over the world, let's say, came to Baden-Württemberg, because this is a highly industrialized region. And until today, the people in Baden-Württemberg, the communities are very diverse, and we welcome everyone. Baden-Württemberg is also home to many global players, and you see on this slide what is our let's say the strongest economic sectors, and alongside these sectors you will find a lot of study programs, not only but also. So for example, in mechanical engineering, I would say there are a lot of famous companies here in our area. Every second machine that is produced in Germany is developed and produced in Baden-Württemberg. But also there are numerous study programs in this field. And the same applies to automotive, to the healthcare industry, environmental technologies, and this goes hand in hand. So industry and universities work strongly together, and this is one of the strengths of our state. Some of the companies you may have, you know, probably, or you have heard or seen or even bought their products, just to name a few. And Baden-Württemberg is also characterized by its innovation, inventions, and high productivity. So, talking about inventions, I mean, I'm sure you know the car has been invented in Baden-Württemberg by Carl Benz. But did you know that he and Gottlieb Daimler, even before they invented the car, they invented the motorboat, for example? Or the soap bubbles also come from Baden-Württemberg. They have been invented by a chemist in Tübingen. Or the chainsaw, for example, they also have an outlet, or not an outlet, sorry, a subsidiary in Turkey. So Hollywood, for example, the Universal Studios, they were founded by a guy from our region, Karl Lemle, who emigrated to the States in the early 20th century. And so he was the founder, of the Universal Studios. And last but not least, matches are another example for inventions made in Baden-Württemberg. And probably you know Albert Einstein, he's also born in our region. In Baden-Württemberg, we don't have natural resources. We don't have anything else. So people ever since were focusing on, let's say, developing out of raw material, let's say, innovations, and so tendering and, let's say, and together with all the academic institutions in the area. So that's perhaps the characteristics of our state. But why study in Baden-Württemberg? That's an interesting question, because everyone claims, why not study here? Why not study there? So we say, because you're spoiled for choice. In Baden-Württemberg, we have a very high variety of institutions, and we have a very dense net of, let's say, different types of institutions, either it be research institutions or universities of applied sciences or many other types of academic institutions, plus research institutions such as Fraunhofer or Helmholtz or Max Planck. They also offer study programs, or you can earn together with a university. For example, at Max Planck, you do the research, and at the university, you write your thesis. So this is how everything in Baden-Württemberg, together with the industry, is mixed, and it's a dense net actually. So, which also is very favorable in terms of technology transfer. So, yeah, this is, you see all approximately 70 universities. Most of them are governmental institutions. They are scattered throughout the whole state. In some areas, such for example Freiburg or Stuttgart, Karlsruhe, Heidelberg, for example, very strong in the research. So there are numerous institutions. But even in if you go a bit away from the big cities, you will find industry plus universities or universities of applied sciences or other universities that I'm now going to explain to you. So in numbers, we have 9 research universities, universities of applied sciences, universities of education for those who want to become a teacher, music and arts, and an interesting model, the Baden-Württemberg Cooperative State University, with various sites in 3 campuses. And this model, the universities of applied sciences and the research institutions, they actually are the pillar of the academic landscape in Baden-Württemberg. Currently, we have around 360,000 students enrolled, and out of them are, let's say, 12 to 13% international students. And most of them study in these 3 types of universities. Why study in Baden-Württemberg? Because we have a large variety of study programs offered at the institutions. We have nearly 3,300. This means you can study almost everything. Let's say in numbers, because I don't know if the audience, if there are students who would like to study in German or in English. So for those who are interested in doing a full program in English, we can offer around 170 different programs that are fully taught in English. And for those of you who think they need to know to speak German before they come, no, if you're enrolled in a full English program, it's not a prerequisite that you know or speak German. So let's have a look at the research institutions. We have 4 of them were quite successful in the national competition. We have 11 universities of excellence in Germany, and 4 out of them are located in Baden-Württemberg. These are Heidelberg, Konstanz, Tübingen, and Karlsruhe. So how to study in Baden-Württemberg? So what are the steps that you should take? And the first thing is find out what you like, how you would like to learn, and choose a university that suits you. And this is a very important advice. Are you, let's say, a theory lover, or rather a project-based learner, hands-on moneymaker? So this is an ideal model for the cooperative state university because you're an employee and from the first day on you earn money. Or are you creative type? So maybe arts and music would be something suitable to you, or you probably want to become a teacher. So check the programs of the universities of education. The research universities in Baden-Württemberg, as I just said, they are one pillar of our academic landscape. And I mean, we have the 3 old ladies, let's say, these are, that date back to the Middle Ages, and these are Heidelberg, Freiburg, and Tübingen, which were founded in the 14th century already. So they have a very long-standing tradition. And so the next type are the that came up with the agricultural revolution and industrialization. So the universities of Hohenheim. Hohenheim is quite well known internationally in agricultural and biotechnology. And Karlsruhe, the KIT, Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, is quite famous in everything related to technology. Of course, there are the youngsters such as Stuttgart, University of Stuttgart, or Ulm. Mannheim also is very focusing on, let's say, on social sciences, for example. So each university, each of them, the research universities, they have, I would say, a broad profile, but focusing finally on very specifically on either technology, social sciences, and so on. So if you say, no, I'm not a theory lover, I like to, I prefer a combination of scientific education, but also like to work project-based, maybe the universities of applied sciences are the best type of institution for you. I mean, 1/3 of all the students in Baden-Württemberg are enrolled in the universities of applied sciences because they say project-based studies with internships, compulsory internships in companies, where you can directly apply what you studied in theory. This is actually what they prefer. And also in Baden-Württemberg, professors that work at university or teach at universities of applied sciences, they have to have a 5-year experience from industry. This means they bring, when they come from the industry and teach in the university, they bring their network to the university, and this enables the students to write their bachelor thesis or master thesis there. This is actually a very good opportunity to, let's say, to get into contact with industry and finally with employers. So yeah, and also the let's say the number of students that graduates or the graduates from this type of university, for them it's quite easy to find a job because they already have connections and ties to industry, and so this is usually, if they write their master bachelor thesis, it's very often they have the chance to continue and become an employee at the relevant company. The Baden-Württemberg Cooperative State University, this is a very interesting model actually. This is a combination of earning, working, and studying. The student actually does not have to apply at the university, but he has to apply for directly at a company. This type of education, or let's say this type of institutions, they have 9,000 partner companies. And once you're accepted as a student at the company, they enroll you at the university. This is when I said at the beginning, the students, you're a student on the one hand side, but you're also an employee on the other side. A lot of students join these programs because for them it's, let's say, the idea of training on the job from the very first day, plus the theory, plus earning money from the very first day of their studies. For them, it's ideal, you know. This is why I showed you the slide at the beginning, what type of learner you are, what do you want? So I think that's one of the main questions at the beginning. When you're searching, when you just graduated from high school and you're searching for programs, or when you do your bachelor and you're searching for continuous studies. So that's also, I would say, one of the most important decisions that you should have in mind when applying for a study program in Germany. Of course, not everyone wants to become a doctor or an engineer. So the universities of arts and music, they offer a lot of programs for students. If you want to become, let's say, music management, for example, or a film director. We have quite different and diverse universities in arts and music. Apart from that, those who want to become who want to become teachers, they should enroll at a university of education. So just to sum up, the big difference is, for example, at a University of Applied Sciences, you can earn degrees such as bachelor and master. And now they are opening it for the best master candidates in cooperation with universities. It's possible to do a PhD, but the general decision is you do a bachelor and a master, and then you go and work. So that's the idea of the graduates of a University of Applied Sciences. If you're enrolled in a research universities, it's a 3-cycle system. So for them, it's or let's say for a part of the students, it's logical to do a bachelor, a master, and then directly at the university do a PhD. So that's also a difference. To sum it all up, you can actually studying or nearly studying anything you want in Baden-Württemberg except one thing, and this is if you want to become a vet. I'm sorry, there are no study programs. So let's have a look at the university's requirements. First of all, which university are you trying to, or do you want to enroll in a bachelor or in a master program? That's also a bit different. The most important thing is that you check the requirements of the university. The universities in Germany are very, let's say, we have 16 different states, and in each state we have different rules and legislation regarding higher education. And apart from that, the universities are quite free to stipulate their own rules when it comes to, let's say, the application dates, for example, or let's say internships for specific study programs. So the most important thing is go to the website of the university, check out for the study program, and then if you have questions, please refer to the international office. The people there, they handle international requests from morning to evening, so they can give you advice, they guide you. And even if you say, okay, that's too difficult for me, I have another solution for you later on. So entry requirements, this means you have this Anabin website. Go and search for the country, select Turkey, and then you see the different types of high school certificates. They are quite diverse in Turkey. I just checked it this morning. It's quite you have quite a few with differences. So it depends. You know, some universities say, okay, you're limited to, you can't with this high school leaving certificate. You should rather study at the University of Applied Sciences, or you're qualified to study it at a research university. All depends on the entry requirements and certificates. So the application process, of course, takes time, even specifically now in these days with Corona. The deadlines actually are for admission are 15th of January and 15th of July. This year they have been prolonged to August, but then you should keep in mind that you still need the visa. So I would say it would approximately take a year to find the right program. Sorry. To search the right university, to find a program that suits you, to apply for a visa, to apply for a dormitory, for a room in the dormitories. All this takes time, and I guess more or less it's a year. So even if you try to apply this year, I mean, you can try it, but I don't know if it makes sense, because everything is so mixed up currently. And this semester is an online semester, and we don't know if the next intake, or let's say the next semester, will also be a full online semester or not. So I'm sorry, terribly sorry. So yeah, take your time, take your decisions, and then try to do the application. And for example, some of the universities, they don't check the applications by themselves. They have this Uni Assist. So they have a website and they refer to Uni Assist. This means all the papers and documents have to be sent to this organization. They do a pre-screening actually, and this applies, for example, in Heidelberg, Hohenheim, Konstanz, and Ulm. But you see, on the other hand, there are quite a few universities, even more, 5 universities, who still do the admission process by themselves. And they've received numerous applications. KIT, I heard 2 years ago, they have more than 8,000 applications per year. And then imagine you have to compare the high school leaving certificates from students from all over the world. So it really takes time, even for the administrative staff at the universities. Another thing is that I wanted to show you is the Test US. It's a test for international students. It's an aptitude test, and some of the universities they would upgrade your high school leaving certificate if you show that you have done this test. It's not compulsory. It depends on the institution you're applying to. I just wanted to show, because this is not something that is Baden-Württemberg specific. This applies to universities all over Germany. So sorry. So next question, language. Of course, as you see, the majority of the study programs that are offered in Baden-Württemberg are taught in German, and 170 around are fully taught in English, and let's say 400 to 500 are partly English and partly in German. Again, it's up to the university, or let's say up to the study program, which language level is required for the relevant program. Information. I mean, today I can give you only a brief overview on the area, on Baden-Württemberg, on the universities. I have of course, no detailed information about all these study programs. So I speak we are kind of an umbrella institution, and we are doing marketing for the Ministry of Research, Science and Research in Baden-Württemberg, and we have set up this website, the study guide. It's a full English website, and there you can find database, where you can select the field of study, or you can select the city, and then it shows all the programs that are available in English or partly in English. Also, of course, you can contact us anytime. I don't know how it works. I mean, we have the chat box, but if we can't answer all the questions, please refer to me. I'm pleased to support you and help you with the next steps. Step number 3, find out about the administrative requirements. Of course, visa is a very important topic. I told you these days, actually I don't know if the German embassy or the consulates are open for public visitors, so it might even take longer to apply for a visa. Money, that's also a very important factor. How much does it cost? I would say something in between, maybe 800. It depends, of course, on your spending habits, and I have to admit that in Baden-Württemberg we have these tuition fees that apply for non-European students. This has been introduced 2 years ago. Why? because the number of international students has risen by 300%. And so, you know, universities had to set up new programs, more professors, more administration, and all this costs a lot of money. And the universities or education in Germany is funded by the taxpayer. Actually, so I mean, if you enroll in a private university, so you have the fee that you have to pay. But if you apply in a governmental university until 2017, you just had the administrative fee of, let's say, 150, 180 euros, but not more. But now it's the semester tuition fee, which means 3,000 per year. You have the living expenses, and yes, you have, of course, your travel expenses if you come from Turkey. Funding opportunities or possibilities, yes, there are. Go to the website on study guide. There is a topic which is called funding, and there you will find a list of various scholarship programs that are funded. Apart from that, I just wanted to let you know that we in Baden-Württemberg, we have a scholarship program, but this applies only to universities that are partners or partnering. It means they have to be signed MOU, or let's say a letter of understanding that they cooperate in this or that field. And then students from universities abroad can apply to this program. The duration is between 2 and 11 months, and the fee, or let's say the stipend you get, it's between 700 and 1,400 euros per month. Let's say this means you, for example, you're currently studying in a bachelor program in Turkey, and you're enrolled in one of the universities that has a partner in Baden-Württemberg. So you can ask your international office or for more information, and you say, I would like to apply for the Baden-Württemberg scholarship program. Where do students live in Germany? Of course, the cheapest option is our student dormitories. Or, I mean, if you say no, that's not what I'm looking for. Or even if you come with family, for example, I mean, on the private market, there are a lot of options. You can rent a flat, or you can share a flat with someone else. The thing is that, for example, as I said before, once you decided to study in Germany, you already can apply for a place in the student dormitory. This don't wait until the end of your application, because then all rooms might be gone by then. In Turkey, we are partnering with Unicum. This is a commercial agent who you might contact or not. As I said, all the universities in Germany, but also in Baden-Württemberg, can be contacted directly. It's a little bit more hassle for you, or more work, because you have to take all your papers, you have to check the websites, get a lot of information, send maybe a few emails. So if you say, no, I don't have time, I'm busy, or if there is agency, of course there is Unicum. You can contact my colleagues there. But this is a service that has to be paid. I just wanted to make this clear. there is the opportunity, but actually it's a commercial service. So the most important step, now I guess you might be very curious, enjoy your new home. Enjoy Baden-Württemberg. Maybe you've been in our region. Maybe you're here doing a semester abroad already, or maybe you just came as a tourist, or you did an internship. So let me see, we have 10 minutes, nearly 10 minutes to go. So if there are any questions, please let me know. Hello?
So, Alexandra, there are some questions.
Yeah.
Can you disable your screen share, or shall I do it for you?
Yeah, please do it.
Okay. Then you will go back to the platform and click on the questions box. There are many questions there.
Yeah. Questions. Okay. First question is, what are the conditions for master programs? Of course, you should have a bachelor degree, and then you can do a master subsequently. This means, for example, if you are, let's say, you have a bachelor degree in engineering, it would be a bit difficult to switch into a completely other field. So the idea is in Germany that you do a bachelor first and then continue with intensified studies in research in the same track in a master program, or the same field of study in a master program. I mean, there are programs that, MBA programs, for example, that are also for engineers. But in general, the idea is to focus on the same topic, but on intensified level in a master program. I hope this answered the question. Or what are the current dates to apply for a bachelor? Yes, I just mentioned it in the presentation. I mean, we have it's a bit difficult to answer. 15th of January and 15th of July are actually the deadlines for summer and winter semester. However, this year everything is a bit, yeah, you know the situation as it is. So it's it has been prolonged until August, but this is also, again, you should check the website of the universities, because the research universities might have different deadlines of application than the universities of applied sciences. For example, as an example, ESB Reutlingen, which is a very excellent business school, they already have in October this year, they would have the application starts for the intake next year for the summer semester. They do it very early because they have an extensive, let's say, application process, or let's say a bit of assessment center also, and because they have a lot of international students and they need to have the visa, they need to prepare everything with the blocked account and so on. So it's, yeah, it's, again, first try to find which university and then the study program, and then learn about deadlines and admission processes. So do you have scholarships? And then, sorry, we will all start the questions. Actually, they come very quickly and go quickly. Yes, we have scholarship programs. I just mentioned the Baden-Württemberg Stipendium. That's one program, but there are many others in Germany, and some of them are specifically at, let's say, directing females, directing people from different countries. So there is a list on the website bw-studyguide.de, where you will find, let's say, a full topic covering information about scholarship programs. Can jobs be found after the university is over? Yes, the new law or the new regulation, I think it's about 2 years ago, they said after you graduated from university, you have 18 months you can stay in Germany. The visa will be prolonged to find a job that suits your studies. So yes, I can confirm this. Can I live in Germany? Yes, you can live in Germany 18 months. Then they will ask from time to time how you proceed. Any applications, of course, and if you wait until the very end, it will be very difficult to find a job, and then this means you have to go back home. So another thing that I wanted to point out, and this is very important, the language that is spoken in German companies is German. Of course, we have these multinationals. We have Bosch, we have Mercedes, we have SAP. And in their research departments or other departments, there are a lot of people from other countries and they speak English. But this is only, let's say, the large percentage of companies in Baden-Württemberg are small and medium-sized companies. And these companies, usually they don't have the double infrastructure for German employees and for international employees. So beware of this fact when you come. Try to learn and study German from the very first day. So once you've finalized or graduated from your university, you still have 1.5 years. So take your chance and time because language is very, very important if you plan to stay in Germany or in any other country. So I know it is quite uncertain these days, but it's just faced. Good question. Face-to-face education, I don't know. So far, the Ministry of Research, Science and the Arts here in the area has not published any information regarding the next winter semester, whether it's full online, whether it's blended learning, which means partly face-to-face with online courses, additional online courses, or fully face-to-face. We just don't know yet. It's too early. And A2, I'm sorry, is this enough to start language school? Well, if you want to study at a university, you need to have B2. That's very important. A2 is not enough. So please continue your studies, do the TestDAF exam, or and then you're able to apply. The other option is you find an English taught program, and then you study fully in English, and that's another opportunity. Yes, you can work while studying. Non-European students can work, I think, 240 half days and 120 full days per year, not per semester, per year. So, yes. But before you apply for a master program, please be aware that you have to deposit 12 months of the average living expenses. Let's take it 800 by 12. This means you have to deposit around nearly 10,000 euro on a blocked account. This is important when you apply for a visa, because then already you have to show, I have this money, it's already on a blocked account. And then once you're in Germany, you can every month you can deduct 800 euros for to cover your expenses. It's going to good. Well, I don't understand. It's going to get an exam.
If there is anything you don't understand, I can translate for you.
No, I was just trying to understand the question. Last question to Serhat. It's quite hard to get into an exam to get the required language certificate. Why is it hard to get into to the exams? Maybe they are fully booked, or well, maybe they can write me an email.
I think maybe because of the virus situation, maybe that's why it's kind of hard to get an exam at the moment.
Okay, will they be until the well, that's a good question. I don't know, because the situation is very let's say it's not yet stable, even in Germany. Maybe you followed the news. We have a situation in northern Germany that they had to there is a shutdown in 2 cities because they have a major problem with Corona. I mean, the same can happen here tomorrow. We don't know. It's just a very let's say it's kind of worry. I'm very worried actually what will be tomorrow or next week. Can we go to office or not? I mean, we returned to office only 2 weeks ago and only in shifts. So it's actually, I don't know how I can answer your question. I'm sorry. Am I still online or not?
Yes, you are online. We can give you 15 more minutes if you prefer.
15 more minutes. Okay. I talked. Okay, let me see. We answered this. Are there any master programs in English for teaching courses? This means I don't know if this person can directly talk to me or not.
They can talk to you by email. They can send you an email after the webinar.
Okay.
But at the moment, if you want to ask this person a question, they can answer you from the chat box.
Okay. So, is there any relationship between there and Turkish-Deutsche Universität, and when there is not, will be? Well, the DTU, they have cooperation partners in Germany. If they have a partner in Baden-Württemberg, I don't know, but please send me an email. I will search this for you. If I end up. The next question from Firuze. Are enough to apply? It depends on the program. It depends on the university, for example. This is nothing that I can tell you right away. That's what I said at the beginning. I'm not a university representative. We are, let's say, an umbrella organization. And we do marketing for all the universities in Baden-Württemberg. But as we have so many programs, I'm sorry, 2,300. I just can't give you detailed answer now. But again, please send me an email, or maybe IEFT can send me all the comments and questions in the chat and your contact details, so I can give you the answers right away. Okay, this is a full German question. which maybe is not interesting for the others, so I will answer it later on. How much are university fee? It depends. If you enroll in a governmental university, you have to pay 1,500 euros per semester, plus the administration fee, around 150, 180, 200, and so on. If you decide to enroll in a private university, of course, you have to add these fees as well. So it depends on the university, actually, governmental or private, bachelor or master. If you do an MBA, for example, so prices vary from, let's say, 3,000 to 30,000. Either is it a very, let's say, a very famous institution. So there is no general rule. The only general rule is that we have study fee 1,500 universities per semester. What language level do I need? That's also depending on the study program. For example, if you most of the programs for them B2, B2 or equivalent in English is enough. Some of the university even ask for C1. It depends on the program. Yes. My guest tuition fees increase each year. Hopefully not. This was a decision by the ministry with the tuition fee, and I don't think that they increase it by the inflation rate. I know that a lot of people say this is such a highly industrialized and rich area in Germany. How come that you, specifically in Baden-Württemberg, that you are introducing study fees? But as I said, 70 universities and the number of international students increased by 300%. So this is a big burden, because you want to serve the German students, but also the international students. So this is why and some of the international students, actually, they had a master degree already, a bachelor and a master degree from their home country, and then they come to Germany, they do a second master. So all this, finally, the ministry came up with the idea to with the study fees. And personally, I don't think that they are, let's say, somehow tied to the inflation rate. You write your email. Okay. The GPA is, how important is the GPA for the master programs which are in English? That's a very good question. The GPA, for example, it's very relevant if you want to apply for an MBA program. For a master program, maybe it depends on the university, on the professor. But the students for master programs, they are carefully selected, because they have to have a bachelor degree. If you have, for example, students that have a 5 years experience from industry, they, let's say, social engagement, for example, it depends really, because they are hand selected by the professors. So it's not only the GPA, that qualifies you for a master program. There are quite a few other criteria. One question. Can I get scholarships from a private school with my Abitur grades? I'm sorry, I can't answer, because maybe that's something that we could discuss later on. I guess tuition fees increase. We had this. My email address, let me talk to IEFT. Selcan, are you hearing me?
Yes.
How can we provide my contacts to the students?
I have your email. If you want, okay. I can share it in the chat box.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll do that.
That's fine for me because there are so many questions and I guess I can't answer them today. Okay, this is answered. Lawyers, could you please give some information about Master in Law programs? Okay, in Germany we have, it's with everything related to the state, such as medicine, pharmacy, and law is taught in Germany. Language. However, there are a few programs, for example, international law that is partly taught in English. As Selcan from IEFT just said, they will send me all the questions and please be a bit patient. I can't answer them all until the end of this week, but I try my best, or I bring you into contact with experts, with people from universities who directly can answer your questions.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank you.
Patient. I think you did your best to answer the questions, but there are too many questions. So yeah, there's a huge interest for studying in Germany.
Yeah.
From Turkey.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Sounds great, and yeah, as I said, I try my best to answer your questions very quickly, and hopefully, yeah, everything will be fine. Corona will be overcome very soon, and the borders will be open very soon. You know, but we still have this law that until the end of this month, non-European visitors can't travel to Germany. So hopefully starting July, everything will be much better.
Yeah, that's what we hope as well. Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank you, and all the best for all the for the audience out there. IEFT team, thank you for the great service, and yeah, I wish you all well. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye bye.